Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'd like to give my thoughts and opinions on the Leeds Arsenal game. We're coming off the back of 3 good wins, surprising wins. If you told me after the 3 losses we had that we'd win the next 3, yeah, I'd think you're crazy really. But we've had a good run, and the players that have come in have really helped the team. So Nketiah has done well. Even in those games that we lost, he did well when he came off the bench. Mohamed El-Neni, I think, is very underrated. I don't think he's ever really let us down in an Arsenal shirt. So he's done really well. And I think if Partey had played some of the passes and had those 3 games, we'd all be going crazy. So he's done really well. And Rob Holding in the last game came in. I think when he's played before, I remember him getting beaten by Raheem Sterling in the air, and then there was another game, the Liverpool game, he got beaten by Diego Jota. So things like that have I've always had that in the back of my mind when he's playing. But yeah, for the last game, he did really well, and he got the goal and really good performance. So we're going to be relying on those 3 especially, like almost like a spine of players who, let's be honest, they're not really first team players. So but when they've come in, they've done a job, and they've done a very good job. And I think I hope people don't underrate that for them. So looking at the team news, I think Ben White had an injury last game, which shows why Holding played. It looks like he might be back. They're going to assess that tomorrow, so he's going to be in training. I don't know what I'd do, because you don't want him to play against Leeds and then get injured for Spurs if you did want him back. I mean, Rob Holding did really well, so I wouldn't have a problem with him playing. If he can play like that against Spurs and Leeds, then that's fine. But it's just if he can keep that level up. So yeah, if he can play like that, then I haven't really got a problem with him staying in the team. But it's kind of like, do you want Ben White back for that Spurs game, and do you risk him in the Leeds game in case he gets injured again? So I guess Mikel Arteta will make that decision. We'll have to see as well with Nuno Tavares, because he's going to be up against Rafinha. So Rafinha is probably their main threat going forward. So Nuno as well is one I actually didn't mention. I mentioned Holding, El-Neni and Nketiah, but I'm going to give some credit to Nuno Tavares, because I think he's been made a scapegoat for some of the performances. I think he came in, so there was the game which Mikel Arteta, I think, messed up when he put Xhaka at left back. But I think against Palace, Tavares, he didn't have a great game, but I thought he was made a scapegoat for that game. I thought everyone had a shocker. There was passes, they were just all off it. And I don't think he was at fault for, I think one of the goals, Gabriel made that silly, came out of his position, and he went for the ball, diving in, lost the ball, and then he put Nuno in trouble. Okay, Nuno, he should have trapped his runner, but I thought he got a lot of criticism, and I thought it was unwarranted, because he'd not played, and yeah, he's coming against Palace away, and you've not played a game. It wasn't the best, and they were really up for it. So I think he's done well, especially the last 3 games. He's got a goal in the last 3, and we've won the last 3 games. So I don't think you can really argue with how he's done. Yes, he's made mistakes, but so is the whole team, really, in those games. And ultimately, yeah, we've won the last 3 with him playing left back. So I think I would keep him in. I don't think I'd go with Cedric at left back, because I think if you go with Cedric at left back, I think he's not immune to mistakes as well, and it's not his position. So you're kind of taking a risk either way. I think Nuno's hasn't got as much experience as Cedric, but it is his position, and I think going forward he's really good. Sometimes his final ball is a bit shocking, but I think once he improves that, I think he'll be a good player. He's got all the attributes. He's quick, he's strong. So I think I'd stick with Nuno, and then I think the rest of the team kind of picks itself. But there's also conundrum whether you put in Smith Rowe or Martinelli. I think you could pretty much toss a coin with that one. I think looking ahead to the Spurs game, I think I'd want Smith Rowe playing in that game. I don't know what. I think it's just because, he's an academy boy, and I think there'll be that extra in it for him, I think, to play against Spurs in the North London derby. So I'd want to be starting him, and he's got goals in him. I'm not sure with that. I think either one would be fine. They're both, they both bring stuff to the table. So I'd be happy. I think it's just that if you want to, Smith Rowe hasn't been in the team, so if you want to get him ready for the Spurs game, so I don't know. I think it depends on who Mikel Arteta sees going into that Spurs game, or maybe he might play one and then bring Smith Rowe in like he normally does, towards the end of the game, and then that gives him some minutes for the Spurs game. That would be, maybe that's what I'd go with. So Martinelli to start, and then if things go well or we need a goal, put Smith Rowe in. Martinelli didn't have the best game in the last one against West Ham, but I think when we needed that bit of magic, because I was fuming on that game, I didn't really think we were going to get the win, to be honest. It didn't look like we were going to score. Nketiah he played really well. I think if I was giving him a score out of 10, I think I'd give him an 8 for that game. Even though he didn't score, what he was doing that Lacazette hasn't been doing, he's been hitting the target. And I think Fabianski made some good saves, and his hold-up play was really good. So, with that, I can't remember what I was saying now, but I'd go with Martinelli and then Smith Rowe to come in off the bench. I was saying, Martinelli, he made that goal. He didn't have the best game, but that little bit of magic, and Gabriel scored that header. So I think looked like that was the only way we were going to score. I was watching the game with my uncle, who's also a big Arsenal fan, and he was saying that it only looks like we're going to score from a cross or a header. It doesn't look like we're going to score from play our way through them. Although I think Nketiah should have probably finished. There was one where he made that run, and the goal was open for him, and he tried to place it, and I think he should have maybe gone for power and then the other side as well. But Fabianski made a decent save, so that's what I want to see from Nketiah. Is I don't want to see Lacazette back in. I don't think Nketiah deserves to be dropped, or Lacazette deserves to play after. He just hasn't shot. I've been wondering if it's Arteta's telling him to drop deep, and that's why he hasn't been shooting. But 4 shots in the last whatever game is strange. But I don't think it is that Arteta's telling him to drop deep and not shoot and stuff like that, because it looks like Nketiah's playing a similar role, but he's getting in behind. He's doing the hold-up play as well in the last game, which I thought he did really well. He was stronger than I thought. And he's having shots. And yeah, he's hitting the target as well. I mean, I was really sad for him that none of those shots went in, but I think if he keeps playing like that, you'll get the goals. So and we're going to need him until the rest of the season. So let's have a look here what I've got down in my notes. So yeah, Nuno versus Rafinha. I'd stick with Nuno. Yeah, Ben White being assessed. I don't know. I think the way Holding played, Ben White. Actually, talking about Ben White, I haven't been convinced with him recently. He's made a few errors and he's cost us a few goals. I think both him and Gabriel, they're not the finished article. They're still learning, and I think they've got a mistake in them, you know. So, and yeah, Ben White, sometimes, I think there was one goal where he's on the halfway line and he gives away a stupid free kick and they score from that. I can't remember which game that was, but there's been a few times where he's just, I don't know, even sometimes he dwells on the ball too much. I know they've been told to pass out from the back and that kind of thing, but yeah, sometimes he dwells on the ball too much. So I wouldn't mind seeing Holding playing against Leeds, especially, yeah, like I said, especially if he plays that the way he did against West Ham. So yeah, starting lineup, I'll probably go with Ramsdale in goal. Obviously, I think Ben White will probably come in because if he's fit, because Arteta, you know, that's his number one guy. But yeah, I guess if he's fit, you put him in and get him sharp for Spurs, because Gabriel and him have more of a partnership. That's the only thing I would say with that. But yeah, so I think Ben White will play, but I wouldn't mind seeing Rob Holding if Ben White isn't fit. So Gabriel Magalhaes next to him. I'd go Tavares. Seems that Tomiyasu has been past fit, so there's no kind of news, because I know he pulled up, and he was pointing to his calf as well in the West Ham game. So he seems like he's all right. Xhaka in the middle with El Nene. Odegaard, I'd go Martinelli and try and bring on Smith Rowe, and then Saka and Nketiah up top. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Leeds, I think they'll be desperate for at least a point. If I have a quick look at their fixtures. So they've got us, then they've got Chelsea, Brighton and Brentford. So that's their last four. I think if I was Leeds, I'd be looking to get a point, try and get a point from Arsenal, point from Chelsea, and try and pick up 3 points against Brighton and Brentford. So minimum. So if you're being realistic, so we'll see how they go. So I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe try and set up more defensive. With Leeds, you never know. So, yeah, we might have to try and break them down. We'll see how it goes with that one. If that's the tactic. If I was them, that's how I'd play it on the counter. To see if Bamford's fit. I think he's being assessed as well. So we'll have to see if he's up top. But I mean, the defence has been doing pretty well recently, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I think for us, it's a must-win game. To go into that North London derby, at least 2 points. I think, if Spurs can do something crazy and beat Liverpool, as long as we win this game, we're still ahead. We're still ahead. It would be a blow if Spurs managed to win that game. I think we'd all be pretty upset, but we'll see. I can't see them winning. I think a draw. I can see them getting a draw, because Liverpool haven't lost at home all season, so I can't see them beating them away. You never know, because against City, that's what I thought as well. So we'll have to see, but it's unlikely. I think hopefully worst case is a draw when you look at the stats. So if that's the case, they've got a point. So yeah, if we can win this game and they draw, which I can see, then we're looking at 4 points. So I think 4 or 5 points going into that North London derby is crucial. I think we lose this game, or even the draw, it means that, you know, I think that'll be a big boost for them if we can't lose this game. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.